here on how things unfold in this scenario.
Stay on with me, Aditya. Let's take a look at the other big development that has taken place in Nepal. The Nepalese protesters have issued a public declaration calling for major political reform in the country. The statement emphasizes that the struggle is for the nation's future. It's not tied to any party or any individual. Some of the key demands shared by them are immediate dissolution of the current House of Representatives, a constitutional amendment, and a rewrite, as well fresh and fair elections. Aditya is back on the telecast. If you could, encapsulate for us, what are these big demands? They want, number one, dissolution of the House. They want free and fair elections. Do you think there is a possibility that elections can be held in the coming days and weeks?
Well, absolutely. Whether the elections will be held in Nepal or not, this will completely depend upon what decisions now are taken. Because since the resignation of KP Sharma Oli, there's been a complete, there's been a complete political vacuum in Nepal. So as per the whatever the constitution of the Nepal says, whether under this such circumstances, newly elections will be held and newly elected government will be formed, or will it bring back the monarchy which existed in Nepal some years ago? So at this juncture, it needs to be seen how how this political scenario in Nepal unfolds in the times to come, because the situation is very grim at the moment, and there's been an incidence of arsoning across. So it needs to be seen from around how things unfold in this scenario.
Stay on with me, Aditya. Let's take a look at another big development. All right, I'm being told that I have been joined by Narayan Kadaria. He's a social activist on the ground in Nepal. Mr. Kadaria, thank you very much for speaking to NewsX. And I do want to understand from you, what's the sentiment on the ground today? This is the third day since the protest broke out. As per information that we are getting, there is calm that has been restored. The protesters have calmed down, and they are even resorting to clean up the city after the mayhem that was caused in the last 2 days.
Yes, thank you for having me here. Yeah, as you mentioned it rightly, the situations have calmed down as of now, and the protesters were on the street arsoning, setting ablaze everything on their way, right from the Parliament building to Supreme Court office, and also the main administrative center, Singha Darbar. They are now in their campaign to clean up the city and trying their best to bring back the country to normalcy. At the same time, there's a meeting going on with the representatives of the Gen Z, and the recent development is that when the topic of monarchy came up in the table, some of the Gen Z representatives they have just made it public that they have abandoned the talks as of now, which had been initiated by the army. It is obvious now the army has taken control of the street, the city, mainly Kathmandu, and yeah, it's really it's really troublesome to figuring out how the course would move ahead. And as the former speaker brought up the topic of monarchy, yeah, the monarchy had been ousted a few years back, and this particular generation, the Gen Z, they're not in. There are divided opinions about monarchy, but a larger chunk of the Gen Z do not accept monarchy. So there had been some names.
Yeah, but then at this point of time,